Welcome back to another FAQ. This time we're going to be talking about choosing the right track tire for your track vehicle, or if you're going on track. Listen, this is the time of year that we start to get all those questions that have to do with bringing your car on track. So today we're going to field a few questions that obviously kind of fall within our wheelhouse, and then we're going to be pitching it over to Cameron Parsons from TOYO Tire.
Hi, I'm Cameron Parsons. I'm Technical Field Manager and Business Development at TOYO Tires. I get to work on our motorsports products and new developments, and I'm here to answer some of Koenig's most frequently asked questions about tires.
He is going to be able to answer these questions, and we're super lucky to have him because Cameron has been around the scene for decades, and he brings a lot of experience, and he also brings you a lot of value to trying to figure out exactly what tire to pair with those race wheels. So let's start by getting into our first question.
For a complete novice going into a track day, the main thing is don't overspend, don't go for high performance equipment, make it all about seat time and your driving experience. So just make sure for your tires that they have the proper load and speed rating for what you're going to do with them. Make sure that they're inflated to a safe pressure, and that's it. Just go out and learn. So if it's the stock tires or if it's just a summer UHP, you're probably totally fine. Just avoid going for the crazy aggressive stuff. Save that for later after you have more experience and comfort with putting the car in a track environment. For just performance or lap times, if you're looking at UTQG or treadwear ratings, just go in knowing that for the most part, these ratings are pretty arbitrary. So if you're new to this and you're just looking for a good track tire, I would suggest going a little more by category, say like extreme summer performance, or if a manufacturer or vendor listed as a track tire. For everybody else that's running time trial events or autocrosses or racing events, then yes, you do want to check treadwear ratings because there will be rules that allow you to run only certain treadwear ratings on your tires. But if you're not tied down to that, I would strongly suggest for any newbies, just go for the category and don't worry as much about the treadwear rating because those numbers vary very much between different manufacturers and tires. So when looking at the wheel diameter and tire combo that you're putting on your car, there are two big factors to keep in mind for this. It's the unsprung mass and how much work your suspension is doing for that wheel and tire combo, as well as the rotational mass that your drivetrain might be fighting against. So make sure to not go with too heavy, too large of a wheel and tire combo that your car might not be up to the task to spin at an effective rate. And on top of that, pay attention to the sidewall profile too. If you're going from a 17-inch to a 19-inch and you're really trimming down that sidewall profile, you're running out of room for that sidewall to flex to allow the tire to kind of conform to the road. And you're also increasing the risk of damage to the wheel because there's not enough tire cushioning the road to the wheel itself. So yeah, mostly think about the mass of the wheel and tire combo and how much sidewall profile you're giving to allow for grip and comfort and for durability on track use. Yes, pretty much always when you're using your car and tires in a track or motorsports environment, the pressures are going to change. So if you're out there, for your first time, then yeah, the changes aren't going to be so massive, right? So for that, if you're going out to the track for the first time, you can usually target like the manufacturer recommendations for your tire pressures. You might only see a 2 or 3 pound gain depending on how hard you're pushing it and what size tire you have. For people in motorsports, sprint racing, endurance racing, they might see larger gains of 6 to 8 psi. But the big things we always want people to monitor is temperatures, using a pyrometer to make sure that they're getting up to optimal temperatures, and then also gauging the cold starting pressures before you go out on track, and then the hot pressure after you come off the track, so that you yourself know how much of a pressure gain you experience every time you go out there. So TOYO works very closely with our partners and sponsored racing classes. So we have a few different options for for motorsports tires, but our Proxys RR is probably the most popular for spec tire racing. And so this is one where we do lots of development and testing in-house, but we also consult with and test with these organizations and their racers in real-world environments too. So we do want to collect the data, we do want to collect the feedback from pro drivers, but we also want to get this information and this feedback from the everyman or the mid-pack runner so that we have a good sense of who we're making this tire for. It's not going to be just the pros that know every inch of a racetrack or exactly what the car is doing. We want to develop this tire for the bulk audience that's going to be experiencing it so that everybody can be competitive and so that everybody can have just an enjoyable time racing each other on track. So we work very closely with the partners to get their feedback and testing even from their racers to make sure this tire is fit for who it's intended for.
So first, before we close this one out, I want to thank Cameron from Toyo, and I want to thank Toyo Tires for allowing us to have Cameron come on and answer some of these questions for you. We understand that we say quite a bit that we're not tire professionals, and because that we choose not to answer certain tire questions, and that is the perfect opportunity to bring somebody on that is a tire expert and has so much a race history and such a race background to be able to answer those questions for you. We hope you found it useful. That's it for this one. We will catch you on the next one.